Welcome to the Reese Report. I'm the mouth of the North, Andrew Reese, and I have my crew back. Everybody's back. Tommy Barbosa, Jose Carlos Gomes, and Gilbey Santos. And in case you're wondering why I have called Mr. Barbosa Tommy, you'll understand later on in the show. Because Tommy DeVito beat Biden's team, and I don't think Gil will ever take Biden's team again after seeing that embarrassment. So we will no longer call Barbosa Tony. He will be named Tommy Barbosa after this week until he loses another game. Now, last week was kind of a tricky week. Both Barbosa and Jose, who were insulting each other before the show started, were both 7-7 last week. So they're on the same level there. Gil, not bad, nice recovery, 9-5 on the week, and my resurgence continues at 10-4. And if I catch Jose and Barbosa to finish second, that will be an accomplishment in itself. Right now, the records are as follows: Barbosa 164, Jose 108 and 56, myself 96 and 68, Gil 164. That means I'm 4 games back of second, and Gil and Barbosa are 8 back of the red hot Jose to start the season, who's on a little bit of a heater cool down period. Now,
I
let's
gotta
start
let you guys
this.
catch up, man. Or else,
Oh,
this thing's not even gonna be fair.
now this is going to be a fired up show today because we have everyone back. And let's start with Thursday night Thanksgiving USA time. The team that plays every Thanksgiving is, guys, the Detroit Lions. Right. Guess who they're playing at home this week? The team that Gil Santos gave up on and beat the San Diego shitty Chargers last week. Gil, you should be ashamed of yourself. You can't take the shitty Chargers over your Packers. And what happens? The worst pass defense in the league makes Jordan Love look like Aaron Rodgers. Now, since Gil has given up on the Love and his team and lost the love, and even in front of Jose said that, I'm going with the Steelers because he's going to throw a pick six. Well, Jordan Love threw a nice bomb to win the game last week. So, Gil, do you dare take the Packers to beat the Lions on Thanksgiving in Detroit?
Well, let me tell you something. If you watched the game very well, I think it was Keenan Allen that missed the catch there at
He
the
dropped
end,
two touchdowns. I know because he's on my fantasy team.
or else they would have lost.
Yes, that's true.
Poor Justin Herbert. Poor Justin Herbert.
Yeah, it wasn't Herbert's fault this time.
There were missed catches. They would have lost, but unfortunately, that's how it goes, right? Just like we saw Valsinki there with the Chiefs missed that catch there at the end too.
Oh my God, MVS, terrible. Oh my God,
another Packer.
Yeah, Barbosa, you're so lucky with the Eagles, eh? That no business winning that game. But anyway, we'll get to that.
I took the Eagles too.
Oh, sorry, no. Barbosa had the Kansas. You had the Eagles. You got lucky with the Eagles, Gil. They shouldn't have won that game. But go ahead.
Well,
you're not taking the Packers, are you? There's no way.
No, not at all.
No, of course not.
Not at all. The Lions are on cylinders. We haven't said this since 1991.
That's right.
So it's been a long time. I think I was like 11 since we started talking good about the Lions. So that's a long time. But yeah, I'm taking the Lions out on Thanksgiving. They're gonna pack up they're gonna give the Packers some turkey.
Just for the record, who took the Lions to start to win the division this year? I know I did. And you guys had the Packers winning the division?
I did, yeah.
Okay, so
I had the Lions.
All right, I just wanted to make sure no insults or anything. I just wanted to check. Jose, who do you got in this game?
The Lions are gonna have a feast with the cheeseheads in this one. I think this is not gonna be a good one for Gil's Packers. I think that he's working, and he's not watching.
He doesn't have to watch it,
or else he's gonna be like, "Oh, here we go, another pick six or whatever. Here, another interception in double coverage." But yeah, the Lions should beat easily the Green Bay.
Yeah, I agree. I got the Lions. Barbosa.
I got the Lions also. Jordan Love is gonna be on the ground quite a bit this week.
Not just that, boys. They lost Aaron Jones too. So
yeah, they can't win without Aaron Jones. They can't.
Yeah. So the Lions look like they're back on track after a few losses. So They had a nice comeback from behind, win against against the Bears, so they'll be rolling. Not taking the Lions at home.
So from one easy game to another game that's going to be a joke in 30 seconds or less, guys. Maybe we could do it all at the same time. The Commanders at the Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Cowboys. Thank you.
Yeah.
Very, very simple. Very, very simple. What a joke that game's going to be. Gil, I think you'll get your revenge for picking them last week when the Dallas Cowboys murdered them this week. By the way, people, the Cowboys, when they play a bad team, they're pretty much a lock to cover the spread. So if you want to take the Cowboys at 10.5, I know Washington beat them last year, but I don't see that happening this year. Sam Howell's going to be running for his life.
Take
Cowboys.
the over as well, man.
It's over. Yes, for sure.
I think the spread got bumped to 13.5. By the way,
it was 10.5, and I think it went up to 13 already. I know.
Did
it? It went up.
It did. It did go up to 13.5.
Yeah. So everyone is on the Cowboys in that game, which might make you a little scared, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Now we go to the game of the day for Thanksgiving, as our San Francisco 49ers, who have rebounded with a vengeance, go to Seattle to take on the Seabags with a struggling Italian stallion, Gil. I got the 49ers murdering this team. Gil, who do you got?
I'm gonna pump some beats.
That's right.
It's Jersey Friday, Jersey Day, and the Italian Stallion's gonna do it. Here's my
no way. He's taking the Seabags?
Taking the Seabags.
Oh my God. Wow. Well,
only you, bro.
Jose,
only
you were right about him. He's just a hater. Jose,
only you. You can take the Seabags. Let him take the Seabags.
How am I a hater? I've been taking the Niners all year.
You took Jacksonville. You took Jacksonville after the bye week.
Yes, I did. Yes,
it's okay. You're Gino Bambino over there. You can go with Vinny and GTL all he wants in the Jersey Shore. And but don't worry, he's gonna get his ass kicked on. He's not. I don't even know if he's gonna play because he's doubtful to play. They don't even know if he's playing or not. They're all without their best running back, but that's gonna be a nice feast for the Niners. Nice Thanksgiving gift, a nice win in Seattle. It's gonna be a nice sleepless night in Seattle. So I'm taking the 49ers.
Jose, will they win by 7?
It's a divisional game. Those games are always like close. 7's I think is a little bit too much. I think they'll probably win by like 4. I think they'll win by 5, 6. I think they'll win by 6.
Barbosa, who do you got?
I got the Niners. They're gonna murder Seattle. That front line is ridiculous.
Yeah,
that defensive line is just. You can't double team nobody on that defensive line. You double team somebody on the defensive line, you're gonna leave somebody open. It's done. Yeah. And even one-on-one against that line, it's ridiculous. Geno Smith is gonna be picking grass out of himself all day.
Here's the thing, guys. Even if I take all bias aside, Kenneth Walker's doubtful, and Geno Smith has turned into a pumpkin. It's not going to be a fun game for the Seabags in this one. The Geno's turned back into the pumpkin, not the stallion. So the 49ers win this one. So that's the Thursday night action. Now let's go to Friday night, because the NFL, you see, they want to have every day covered. So now they're going to have a Friday night game. Actually, Friday afternoon game. It's at 3 o'clock, this game. The Miami Dolphins, who struggled beating the Raiders last week, they go to the Jets, the New York Jets, or go to take on the Jets with Tim Boyle starting. I got the Dolphins.
Tim Boyle.
Dolphins, Tim Boyle, please. It's like Aaron Rodgers is running the organization into the ground. Dolphins. Jose.
Yeah, Dolphins should win this game, and if it's Zach Wilson, if it's Doyle, if it's whoever the hell you put back there, that offensive line is garbage. The team has no offensive like gameplay. They don't even know if they're rushing or if they're throwing the ball. Like, it's just unpredictable. The only thing that saves them is their defense. And last week they got exposed by the Bills. If they can't keep the games close, then that team's not going to put up any points on the board. So I think Miami's going to just outgun them, and it's going to be a nice another blowout. And then we don't get to see the Aaron Rodgers comeback this year. We'll only get to see him next year. So I'm taking Miami.
Barbosa, do you dare take the Jets in this game?
No. You
No, I
crazy.
would.
The guy's got more interceptions than touchdown passes.
In his
My
career,
God.
anywhere, high
Yeah.
school, college, everywhere.
And the pros, the guy's got 3 touchdowns and 10 interceptions in the NFL.
This guy's Nathan Peterman.
Yeah, listen, I guess Sean Payton was right about that Jets offensive coordinator. That guy's useless.
Hackett is pretty useless.
Yeah,
Gil.
The only reason why he's gotten an offensive or a head coaching job is because of Aaron Rodgers. Where else? Forget it. That guy sucks.
Gil, are you gonna make it unanimous?
Well, yes. The only sad part for this is the Jets already gave up on Zach Wilson. That's all they're saying. Zach Wilson, with Rodgers going down, had his chance to show if he had anything. And I guess last week when he started falling on the floor by himself, I think that just did it. And I think Salah said, I had enough of this shit.
That's all Jets quarterbacks. Remember Mark Sanchez?
Yeah.
Running into his own lineman.
Yo, did you see
sacked himself. How do you sack yourself?
Yeah, but at least there he ran to a lineman. Zach Wilson just fall by himself.
Yo, did you see the play where he ran out of bounds and tried to run over Salah and Salah like pushed him out of the way?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Salah tackled him down to the floor,
tackled
buddy.
him
Where
down
you
to
going?
the ground.
Maybe I'll injure you before I have to take you out.
That's right.
Salah wanted
throw
to
him on
get
the ground.
Salah wanted to get a tackle in.
Oh my God.
So with this saying, the NFL is watching as well. I think Zach Wilson, the Jets are going to can him, and I don't think he has a future anywhere else. I think that's probably the end. Unless we see him playing back or third string, whatever. But him as a starter, I think he's done. So I think the Dolphins win this pretty easy.
Gil, quick question: who's worse as a number 2 pick, Ryan Leaf or Zach Wilson?
That's a good question.
It is. We had this when you weren't here, so I figured I'd ask you.
I'm gonna say maybe Wilson, because Leaf near the end was at least getting more.
Yeah.
No, never.
Better than what Zach Wilson is doing.
Never.
You think Leaf's worse? I think Wilson's worse than Leaf.
Nah, you guys, buddy.
Wilson's worse than Leaf?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Ryan Leaf.
Bro, you guys, Ryan Leaf didn't even never won a game. At least this guy's won a couple of games, at least in his career. Maybe he doesn't have the stats and stuff like that, but at least he won games.
Okay.
Dude, that offensive line is horrible. I'm sorry.
Oh, I know. But so was the Chargers back in the day when Leaf was there.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, that offensive line, they can't do anything. Like, it's just, please draft an offensive line, an offensive tackle this year in the draft, and worry about next year when you get Aaron Rodgers healthy back next year, and just take it as it is.
I got news for the Jets. If you think Aaron Rodgers is going to come back next year at 40 years old with a bad Achilles with that offensive line, and you think the results are going to be any different, I got news for you. It's not. It's because he got destroyed in Green Bay with no offensive line. So don't think it's going to be any different because this is Aaron Rodgers next year. Get an offensive line, Jets. Let's go to the Jags. A very strange team playing what might be the MVP candidate leader and easy rookie of the year, CJ Stroud and the Houston Texans. A really tough game here. This could decide the division. And since it's Barbosa's division, I'll ask him and his 5-5 Colts. Who do you got in this one?
I'm gonna take the Jaguars. I've been impressed with Houston. I have, but I don't think they're just there yet. So I see the Jags coming out with the victory on this one.
Gil, who do you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna say the Jags as well. Even though Stroud should have lost last week, he got 3 picks. He looked like a rookie last week. If you tell me, Arizona fell a little short, but maybe just had a bad game. Who knows? Hopefully, it's not now him being exposed. But I think the Jags will beat them.
Jose.
I agree with everybody. I think the Jags is going to beat them. It's going to be a nice tight game. Just defensively, I think the Jags offer more than the Texans right now, and that's saying they'll probably pick Stroud a couple of times and get the turnovers and stuff, and they'll put up a couple extra scores than Houston. But don't get me wrong, Stroud he bounced back. You know what I mean? Like it's for a rookie, it's pretty impressive what he's been doing, man.
Yep.
He threw the 3 picks, but he drove them down the field to win the game. But this one, I think the Jags are, besides the blowout with the Niners game, they've been playing well the whole season, man. I think last week was a nice bounce back game, and this week they'll continue it and they'll beat Houston.
Yeah, I'm going to make it a clean sweep. I got the Jags in this one. I think earlier in the season, Houston surprised them, beat them 37-17. I expect the opposite to happen in this game. I think the Jags win it and take control of the division. Now we go to the team that Gil hates, the Pittsburgh Steelers, who once again are going to be fortunate as they go to Cincinnati to take on, I don't even know who the quarterback is for Cincy. All I know is Burrow's out for the year. Having said that, no quarterback, no Joe Burrow, no win for the Bengals. I got the Steelers. Gil.
Yeah, I don't know. Kenny Pickett's is struggling over there too. The Penguin. If you looked at last week's Penguins game, the fans in hockey were saying "Fire Canada."
He's gone now.
He's dead. He's gone. No,
I know.
no Canada.
I know.
No Canada.
Boeing's, I don't know. He has the weapons, but I don't think he can make it happen. I think Bengals are going to rely a lot on Mixon, but the Steelers have good defense, so I'm going to say the Steelers win by a field goal.
Jose?
Tough game to pick. You know what? I'm gonna take Cincy. Everybody's gonna be on Pittsburgh in defense, blah 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 blah. But they still have the offensive weapons. They have Mixon. They have Chase. Brownings is not a bad quarterback. He played well in college at Washington. So I'm taking Cincy.
Barbosa?
No Burrow, no Bengals. I got Pittsburgh with a new look offense. We'll see what Kenny Pickett is all about with the new offense.
Yeah, I think there'll be a big bump for Pittsburgh. We saw it with the Vegas Raiders when they got a new coach. They got to bump up there emotionally. We'll see if that works for Pittsburgh. I hate taking
Kenny Pickett can't throw a ball, man.
I know, dude. I hate their offense. I hate
Listen, that offense is terrible.
It's terrible.
Yeah, that offense was terrible. Let's see. Listen, is Kenny Pickett the best quarterback? No. Do I think he's better than what he's shown? Yeah. But I don't think he's a great quarterback. No, he's not. But that offensive, it's like they don't know what the hell to run. It was like, I don't know what the hell's going on with that offense.
Yeah. If you're a gambling man, take the under, guys.
Yeah, 100%.
100. It's going
100%.
under. I said last week the Cleveland game was an under 13-10, guys. It was 32 and it still went under by a mile. So take the under in this game. Now let's go to the Carolina Panthers, who I believe Jose was correct in saying they were going to be the worst team in the league. And they are. They're 1-9. They don't even have their own draft pick, which is sad. The Bears are going to end up with 2, probably get 2 of the best players in college. They go to Tennessee to take on the rebuilding Titans with Will Levis. Because Carolina has the second worst rush defense in the league, I have the Titans. Barbosa.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Titans. They're at home. Carolina's, they're not good. So I'm going to take the Titans.
Gil?
Well, the Titans only have 3 wins, and those 3 wins are at home.
Yeah,
they're playing a bad Carolina team, so I'm going to take the Titans.
Jose?
Clean sweep. I'm going to take the Titans at home. Tighten up, buddy. Tighten up.
Hey, Derrick Henry, I benched your ass last week for Devin Singletary, who went crazy. You better not disappoint me this week. Otherwise, you're going to be out of the playoffs. So you better show up today, Derrick Henry. Let's go to the New Orleans Saints, who may or may not have Derrick Henry, Derek Carr, who had a concussion and a shoulder sprain. They go to Atlanta to take on, I don't even know if it's going to be Riddler or if it's going to be Heineke, I don't know who's starting for them. All they got is Brian Robson and Kyle Pitts and Drake London. It could be Winston. Who knows? This is a shit bowl. Let's toss it up there. Barbosa.
I don't know, man. I'm
This
just
is
gonna
an
go with
ugly
this.
division. This division is
gonna-
horrible.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Saints just because of Kamara. They got the better running back.
Jose? I'm not sure about that, by the way. I think Robson's better
I
than him.
don't
But
know. I
Jose?
still like
gonna-
Kamara.
I'm gonna take the Saints. I just think they have more offensive firepower and or defensively, I think they're better than the Falcons. And the Falcons with Riddler, I don't think they're gonna move the ball on them as much. I don't know why they're going back to Riddler. Heineke was doing okay job. He wasn't doing. I think he was doing better than Riddler, but I don't know. I guess the coach wants to get his ass fired, so I'm gonna take Atlanta.
You taking New Orleans or Atlanta?
Oh, sorry, New Orleans. Sorry,
New
my bad.
Orleans,
New Orleans.
okay.
Yeah.
New Orleans. Gil?
Yeah, and by the way, the reason why they're not starting Henneke is because he had a hamstring.
Correct. That's correct. Yeah.
That's why they went back to Riddler. And with that saying, you know what? Saints, if Carr's healthy, I think the Saints did better with Winston than they did with Carr. But I'm gonna go based off the Saints have pretty good defense too. It's a very even game, to be honest with you.
It is. It
Yeah,
is.
it's hard
It's
to
a pick
pick.
'em. It's a pick.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go by the type of players. I'm gonna say the Saints.
Okay, because Derek Carr is questionable with a concussion, and because Jameis Winston stinks, and because Michael Thomas is on IR again, I'm going to take Atlanta at home. I think Atlanta always gives New Orleans problems, even when they're in New Orleans for whatever reason. Atlanta always gives them a headache, and so for that reason, I'll take Atlanta. Oh yes, now let's go to the Colts. Yes, the Colts at 5-5, hanging around, with Minshew magic. Well, it's time to get the big show in town. Tampa Bay at Indy, two ugly teams with no defense on either side. Guys, take the over in this game. It's going to be high scoring. But let's go to Barbosa and see who he likes.
I'm gonna take the Colts. I've been unimpressed with the Buccaneers lately. They look good for 3 weeks, the first couple of weeks of the season, but ever since then, they haven't looked the same. That offense hasn't clicked for some reason. Defensively, I don't know what the hell is going on. And Jonathan Taylor is back. They got a two-headed monster there in the backfield with Zach Moss and Jonathan Taylor. So I'm gonna take the Colts.
Jose?
I don't know what kind of football Barbosa watches on Sunday, but the last time I checked, the Bucks just put up 30-something points against the Texans 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
Oh,
Okay.
well, yeah, but they still lost the game, no?
Yeah, I'm not. But you're saying
Okay.
that their offense, they can't move the ball.
Baker's played well this year.
Exactly.
He really
Baker
has.
Mayfield has been playing well, and trust me, I'd rather have Baker Mayfield than get
Minshew
Minshew or whoever.
So do I. I'd rather have have
Okay,
Baker
so
than Minshew.
That's
I'm not picking the Colts because of Minshew.
You're picking the Colts because of Zach Moss and Jonathan Taylor.
Damn right,
Okay.
buddy. They're gonna run the ball. You're gonna see.
I'll pick the Bucks because of Michael Evans,
fine.
Rashad White, Goodwin, White, Villa. I'll pick them
Vita
because
Vea.
of that.
No
Villa.
problem.
Buddy, last week they gave the Niners a handful, man. They played them. They played them good, and if it wasn't for a couple of turnovers at the end that the Niners forced, it would have been even a closer game than it was. So that saying, I'm gonna take the Bucks. But Barbosa, I don't know what kind of TV you watch, but
Gil?
Don't worry, Tony. I'm on your side. Just like you have the two-headed monster, just got fucking two testicles. Okay, so I'm taking the Colts only because they're not bad at home, and I need the Bucks to lose as a Packer fan.
Ah, yes, there you go. For that little slight chance that the Packers can make the playoffs.
He still thinks he's gonna make playoffs, but he go golfing. Never mind.
Jose, we're the team looking in right now.
You're the team
we're an
looking
eighth.
in.
We're an eighth. We're the team looking in.
Okay,
Yeah.
you still. And
You
How
got
much
to
was
pass
the
the Vikings.
How
Who's in
many?
seventh?
How many make the playoffs? 7, right?
7.
Yeah,
Okay, so we're
and
an
you're
eighth.
still like
Eh,
3 games behind the
eh.
Vikings.
No, 2.
3.
I
You still
don't
gotta
think
beat. You
Josh.
gotta beat
I
him
don't
to
think
go
Doc
ahead.
should have learned the playbook.
Who?
What do you
Um,
mean? Didn't learn the playbook? But he
I don't
played
think
well
he should
last
have
week.
learned
What are
the
you talking about?
playbook because he
Why?
played much better just coming into the game without learning the
Yeah,
playbook. All of a
yeah.
sudden, he
Don't
had a
worry.
week to
But
prepare.
last week he played good. They just freaking he got hurt at the end. The guy fucking that guy Jackson, but that guy should be suspended for the rest of the year. Giving head hits all the time. That's all he does. That guy.
That you're
Anyways,
I'm going to take Tampa Bay because I believe Baker Mayfield's better than Minshew. It will be a very high scoring game, guys. I expect this to be high scoring. Tampa Bay wins it with a field goal at the end and officially knocks the Colts out of the playoff race. Sorry, Barbosa. Now
We'll
let's
see.
go to a game that before anyone picks will 100% be an under. The New England Patriots play the G-men. Watch Gil's face, okay? These are the 2 worst offenses in the league other than the Jets. Expect this to be 10-3, 10-6. We saw the Colts win 10-6 against New England, but Barbosa's so impressed with the Colts. They won 10-6 against New England. They're so impressive.
Doesn't matter.
Okay?
A win's a win.
So
Any given Sunday, baby.
because Barbosa destroyed this guy last week, I'm going to ask him first. Tommy Barbosa, who do you have in this game? Pats, G-men.
I don't know.
He's
I don't know, man. This
not
is
Danny
terrible.
DeVito anymore, Barbosa. He's Tommy DeVito now.
Yeah, I don't know, but Belichick against rookie quarterbacks, they never play well against.
Belichick without the goat is shit, Barbosa. Just pick.
Listen, you know what? I'm gonna have to go with my boy. I'm gonna pick Tommy DeVito. I'm gonna pick Tommy DeVito.
This
go
is
with
how
the
bad.
Giants.
Hey, Lino, if you're listening out there, this is how far Mac Jones has fallen. Barbosa's picking Tommy DeVito to beat him. Jose?
Two bad teams, man. Two shit
Actually,
teams. This is
Jones might not
toss-up.
even play. It could be Bailey Zappi for all I know. Yeah, I think he's benched anyway, Mac
No,
Jones.
I think he's benched. I think he was.
Yeah.
I think he's
Bailey
benched.
Zappi, I think.
I think it's Zappy.
Jose?
I think Belichick. You bash Belichick so bad, but the man is a good coach. Okay, don't start because of Tom Brady this and Tom Brady
I
that.
He is a
haven't
good
seen-
Because
coach.
when Tom Brady left, he still made the playoffs. And now, okay, lately the teams have been shit, but when Brady left, he still made the playoffs and stuff like that with the Mac Jones and a rookie as a rookie. So don't be that bashing him because if he had a lot to do with those championships that they wanted to. They have
Just
built
the
a good
offensive
team.
coordinators, man. It's
It's
just the
just-
offensive coordinators
It's
he's been
just
having
that they have a
since.
bad team. They have the best defensive player, Drew Don's on injured too. So
Yeah.
that doesn't help. And they don't have any weapons for Mac Jones to throw the ball to.
Yeah,
Like,
you're right.
when
They
you're
don't.
when you're depending on Stevenson to run the ball, and then who are you gonna throw it to?
And their
Kendrick
offensive line
Bourne?
is shit.
Okay, Jose, just
And
just
their
tell me
offensive
this.
line is garbage.
When
Their
Mac Jones
offensive
has
line
a
is
when
so
Mac Jones
shit.
has a chance to win the game and he underthrows a receiver by 10 yards, whose fault is that? Is that the offensive weapons or is that the quarterback?
Did you see why he threw the guy? The
He
guy was
underthrew
getting
by
harassed.
10 yards, dude. Like it was the
he
worst throw
getting
I've ever
harassed.
seen.
Like he was getting the pocket was falling on him. It's not easy, man. It's easy to see from the TV, but when you're on the field and you get this 300-pound guy chasing you, and what do you like? The last thing
He
you want
leads
to
the
do.
NFL in points to the other team, but go ahead, make your pick.
Yeah, but still, it doesn't matter anyway.
Worse than
regardless.
Jimmy G, but go ahead.
I'm going on. I'm going to take the Giants. I just think the Giants defensively they're better.
All that means taking Tommy DeVito. Okay.
I think they're better, and they have Saquon Barkley, and I think Saquon Barkley is a big key in this game, and I think they'll win that game.
Gil, good luck. I don't. You don't even want to pick this game. I already know.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be 3-3, and then they get a safety. 5-3 for the Patriots. They get a safety at the end. Tommy DeVito's not gonna know what to do. Can't run out of the end zone, and he's gonna brain fart. And gonna sack him in the end zone.
Okay, I got the G-men, and this is the end of Bill Belichick in New England. Mark it down, write it down. This is the end of Bill Belichick if they lose this game to Tommy DeVito.
Yeah,
It's the end. They lose to Tommy DeVito, it's the end for Belichick.
The guy's not gonna get fired. Maybe as a GM, but as a head coach,
as a
he'll
GM,
be there.
yeah, I agree with Jose. As a GM, he's gonna get fired. As a coach,
I think.
By the way, he's the GM, so he's the reason why the team sucks. Just
100%.
Jose didn't want to tell you
100%.
that. He's running the freaking organization.
Yeah, 100%.
He's the reason the
That
team
you
sucks
can blame.
right now.
He made some
That you
bad
can blame on
decisions
him.
in the draft. Yeah.
that
So
you
what?
can blame on him.
And
100%.
hiring,
That you blame on him.
hiring defensive coordinators to be offensive coordinators. That's also him, by the way. Just so people know.
Yeah,
Because he's so cocky. He's so cocky. He figures he can put anybody in there and make anybody great. Wrong. You missed the GOAT. He won a Super Bowl without you. You're shit. Because I saw your record without the GOAT, and it's shit. I rely on facts, not on feelings. He's garbage without Tom Brady. So 3 on the G-Men, 3 on the Pats. Or sorry, 1 on the Pats. Gil, I hope so. I hope so for you. But it's the end. Now let's go to the Cleveland Browns. This is where I get to eat some crow. I have to say his name right now. Let me just make sure I have his name right. Dorian Thompson-Robinson found a way to win 13-10 last week. Congratulations. You led a nice last second drive. The Browns defense is real. Their offense without Watson is not. Having said that, the Broncos are back in the playoff race led by Wilson and their impressive defense under Sean Payton. I owe you an apology too. There is 0 chance I'm taking Cleveland this week. I got the Broncos. Barbosa?
I'm going with the Broncos. They're playing right now. They're playing well. Sean Payton's got especially the defense on track because the offense was playing well the whole season. It's just the defense was giving up way too many points, especially a 70 spot against Miami. Ever since then, that defense has tightened up. I think ever since then they've been the number 1 or number 2 defense in the league, if I'm not mistaken, for the last 5 games. So I'm going to take the Broncos.
Gil, Russell Wilson playing like an MVP. Who do you got?
I'm riding the pony, man.
Riding the pony.
Ride the pony.
I had these guys to win the damn Super Bowl last year. They're just a year too late.
Yeah.
For my pick, but
this Bronco country. Let's ride.
But this is what I expected. Like they have the weapons. They have the weapons. They just need some time to gel.
Jose, who do you got?
I'm taking Cleveland. I think that defense is phenomenal. They'll
really
keep
is.
him in the game. They'll keep him in the game. And freaking DTR will keep him as long as he doesn't do any turnovers and give good field position to Denver. I think they'll be fine. They have the run game. They'll do those little short passes for him, and that's all he has to do. And just play turnover-free football, and they'll be fine. So I got Cleveland.
I will say, even though I took the Broncos, I'm worried about their run defense because Cleveland's game is running the football, and if they get down early, that could be trouble. But the Broncos could scare some teams in the playoffs if they make it. They're at 5-5. They've got a shot. Barbosa, you need them to lose, so I thought you'd take Cleveland, but that's okay.
Okay. I didn't expect the Colts to make the playoffs.
So we got 3 minutes left.
You didn't expect the Colts to make that. You said they were gonna win 11 games.
That's right.
So
that's right.
they were gonna win the division.
Yeah, but even in the AFC, I thought 11 games. It'd still be tough for them to make the playoffs. In the AFC, the way the AFC
be
was.
Surprised. Be glad if they win over 7. Never mind. With 11 games.
Okay,
please.
Anyways. All right, so we have 5 more games to go. We will take a short break, and we'll be right back with the last 5 games. Guys, do not shut off the show. We'll be right back. All right, we're back. We had to take a little bit of a break there, but let's get to Ugly Bowl City here as the LA Rams go to Arizona to take on the Cardinals. The Cardinals should have won last week. They had their chances to beat the Texans, did not do it. The Rams snuck out a win against the Italian Stallion. They got a last-second field goal. However, having said that, I don't like the Rams' chances this week. I got Arizona. Barbosa.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Arizona also. Ever since Kyler Murray's been back, that offense has looked pretty good. And the Rams, without Matthew Stafford, not the same team. So I'm going to go with the Cardinals.
Cup's injured his ankle. It's not looking good for them. Jose.
Yeah, that's saying Cup's probably not gonna be able to play. They're gonna probably rely a lot on Nakul. They'll double team him. And that's saying I think I'm gonna take Arizona as well. I don't.
Gil.
Yeah, Arizona. I always said when Murray's coming back, the team would be different. I'm gonna take Arizona.
To the game of the week, the Buffalo Bills, who got their revenge and beat up the Jets, go to Philadelphia to take on the 9-1 Eagles. I don't like Josh Allen. I don't think they have any hope of winning in Philadelphia. I've got the Eagles. Barbosa.
I'm gonna take the Bills. The Eagles are due for another loss, and I think this is the game. The Bills are in a bit of a high after last week, after that offense put 32 points up on the Jets. So I'm gonna take the Bills. I think this might be a game that surprises the Eagles.
Jose?
I agree with Barbosa. I'm gonna take the Buffalo Bills too. They looked different last week with the rushing, with passing, offensively, defensively. I think they're able to shut down the Eagles. The Eagles didn't look that very impressive against the Chiefs. So I'm gonna take Buffalo in an upset here.
Gil?
It's tough, man. I kind of feel what they feel. I feel like Philly's due for a loss too. I just don't like Buffalo's running game. Like, they rely on Allen to do a lot of the running game. Oh man. My gut feeling is just saying Philly, so I'm just gonna say Philly.
Yeah, I mean the Bills beat up on the Jets last week. I'm not gonna judge the offensive coordinator by that game. This is a real test. The Bills defense has struggled all year, and Allen's gonna turn it over. So I'll go with the Eagles. Now we go to a game that all of a sudden is a lot more interesting than people would have thought, as the struggling Kansas City Chiefs, who have not scored a point in the second half in 3 games, go to take on the resurgent Vegas Raiders, who are all of a sudden in a playoff spot at 6-5. This matchup is always good, no matter how bad the Raiders are. It's usually typically a war or a close game. Jose, what do you got?
I think this one is a tough because Raiders have been playing good football lately. They played well against Miami, kept it close. It's saying that I don't know. I just can't go against Mahomes, man. I think Mahomes they gotta get that stuff right. I think they gotta start involving more Kelsey in their offense. I think he's only got like a couple of catches these last 2 games, and that's not enough. I think they need to give him different plays and stuff like that. So I think they're gonna win, but it's gonna be a close one. So I'm gonna take KC.
Barbosa?
Yeah, the Raiders have been playing really well the last ever since they fired
Useless man.
McDaniels. Yeah, a guy can't coach for his life depended on it. But I'm gonna take the Chiefs. I think they'll figure out the offense, and I like their defense. They're an underrated defense. I'm gonna take, and they're trying to develop that kid Watson, that tight end. He missed a couple of big catches. If it was for those, I think it would have been a different game against the Eagles. So I'm gonna take KC.
Gil?
Well, this game's NWA versus Swifferellas, and I'm taking Gangsters NWA in this one. Smash mouth. They're gonna run all over the Swifferellas. So I'm gonna go with the Raiders.
I'm also taking the upset. I got the Vegas Raiders in this one. The Kansas City's offense is in a lot of trouble. It's not looking good. They got guys that can't catch the ball. They're double and triple teaming Kelsey. Vegas is definitely resurgent. Their defense is playing better. They're giving the ball to their running back, which they should have been doing from the beginning of the year, despite signing Jimmy G. They still have Devontae. Casey's defense is really good. I think it'll be a low-scoring game. Take the under, but I'm going to take the upset. I mean, I watched Casey struggle mightily against Denver when their defense was the worst in the league. So I think Vegas can pull the upset here, and I'll take a shot at the Raiders. Definitely take the plus 8.5, guys. That's a lock. That and the under. So for you gamblers out there. Now to a game that I hate, but a game I know who Gil's going to take. It's the Baltimore Ravens at the San Diego Shitty Chargers. Gil, I'm just going to go to you first because I know you're not going to do it again and take the Chargers. So who do you got?
I got my Super Bowl pick, the Ravens.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I have the Ravens because the Chargers are shit. And you know what? It's not Justin Herbert's fault. That coach is useless. He's a terrible coach. He's getting testy with the media. He knows his ass is out the door in about five weeks. They have completely wasted the defensive talent they have on the team. They have a lot of talent they can't win. But for San Diego fans that thought that Marty Schottenheimer was bad, at least he won 13 games everywhere. Just choked in the playoffs. This is way worse than that. This team should not be this bad. They're 4-6. Staley's got to go, and we'll see what Herbert is then. I feel bad for him. He played great the last 2 weeks. However, I've got the Ravens because they got the better coach. Barbosa.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Ravens. The Chargers offense won't match against Baltimore's offense because Baltimore's defense is way better than the Chargers defense. That defense is terrible. Like you're saying, they're wasting Khalil Mack. They're wasting Joey Bosa. They have a good defense. It's just, man, that coach is terrible. He's a terrible head coach. He should have been fired last year when they blew a 24 or 27 point lead to Jacksonville at half. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Ravens.
By the way, shout out to OBJ. Great last couple of games. Gil, do yourself a favor. The Chargers have the worst pass defense I've ever seen. Start OBJ on your fantasy team, please. Jose, what do you got?
No, I'm gonna take Baltimore, but in saying that, it's not. You guys talk about the coach. He is a shit coach. Don't get me wrong, but he's an offensive coordinator. He's not. He has nothing to do with the defense. Okay.
He was known for his defense. He was hired.
He was Jose. He's a defensive guru.
But this guy, bro, dude, like that team, it's just Khalil Mack, and then the rest is all garbage. It's Joey Bosa is injured. They have no cornerbacks to cover wide receivers. Like they have their secondary is awful. Like everybody's tearing them up in the passing game. Like that defense is horrible. Like I don't know. Besides Khalil Mack, that team is garbage. And that's saying this is gonna be a romp. I feel sorry for Justin Herbert. I think he's gonna get hurt this game. If I was him, I'd pretend that I was sick and not play this game and just skip it like the Deshaun Watson does when he doesn't want to play against good defenses. Right. And then he pretends that he has a broken shoulder. But anyways, that's saying I'm taking Baltimore. I think they're gonna kill him.
Well, we end this wonderful week of football on Monday night with the Bears and the Vikings. I will say this, though. It was nice to see Justin Fields almost knock off the Lions. He played very well. And Josh Dobbs is a story of the NFL this year. So maybe there's something to watch. Having said that, I love what I've seen from Josh Dobbs. And I might put him in my fantasy team this week because Tua's playing a very tough Jets defense. But we'll see. I got the Vikings. Barbosa.
I got the Vikings also. It's the Bears. Vikings. Enough said.
Gil, you need the Vikings to lose. Will you dare take the Bears?
Well, if there's a game I'm going to lose, I hope it's this one. I'm going to take the Vikings because Dobbs at least knows what locker room he's going into this time.
Exactly.
So he's more familiar with the field and the locker room now.
Yeah.
It is the Bears. I just hope Justin Fields does do a miracle. But I do want to do a shout out to whoever the schedule maker was. Why is this game on prime time?
Oh, it's horrible. Come
Like
on, man.
Kansas City Raiders should have been on prime time or something like
Yeah,
that. Or
come
the
on,
Eagles
man.
and the Bills. I have no
Yeah.
idea why this was on prime time.
Justin Fields.
Terrible, terrible.
It was because of Justin Fields. That's all.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. If there's a game, I'm gonna take the Vikings though. But if there's a game I get wrong this week, I hope it's that one.
Jose?
Chicago played well, man. They impressed
They
me
did.
last week against
They did.
Detroit. They just couldn't hold on to the lead with like I think they had like 3 minutes left, and they
Yeah.
let them score 2 touchdowns.
Yeah.
And
Well,
that saying,
to me, that's a choke job.
Yes, it was a choke job. Yeah.
in
Terrible
that
choice.
in that saying, Minnesota they looked okay, but I think I'm gonna go. I'll take Chicago in the upset. I think Fields will. It's prime time. He'll ball out, and him and Moore have a good connection. And maybe Herbert coming back, he'll be a little help on the run game and stuff. They have Foreman. I think there should be. It'll be a close game, and I'll just take Chicago in the upset.
Yeah, I'm hearing Jefferson's back, so that's a positive as well for the Vikings. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I like what I've seen from Dobbs. Now, before we go, that's our picks, by the way. Before we go, Tony, you have some information for me on Ryan Leaf and your belief that he's that does rhyme, by the way. That he's way worse than Wilson. What do you have for me?
Okay. Well, going by their career stats, Zach Wilson played 2 years, Ryan Leaf played 2 years. Okay.
Yeah.
So for their careers, Zach Wilson's got 6,000 yards, 21 touchdowns, 25 interceptions. Ryan Leaf has 14, sorry, where is it? 14 touchdowns, 36 interceptions.
Yeah, he was bad.
Okay, so what does that tell you? Zach
Now,
Wilson's not that bad. Ryan Leaf is worse.
In fairness, the football was much different when Ryan Leaf played than it is now. You could kill the quarterback when Ryan Leaf played.
Yeah, but they use the run game more.
Yeah, I don't know who they're.
36 picks.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
use
it's
the run
bad.
game a lot more when he was
Yeah.
playing.
Yeah,
when he
Ryan
came
Leaf
in.
was really bad, guys. Don't get me wrong. I thought I'd throw it out there as a question. But for a team to have that good a defense and have a quarterback that can't even score 7 points,
I get it. Yeah,
it's
terrible.
really terrible, man.
Terrible.
Like the Jets should not be this bad. They have no offense at all whatsoever. You could say the same thing about the Steelers with Kenny Pickett. Although I think he's a little bit better than Wilson, maybe not much.
But Kenny Pickett wins. He wins games.
Yeah, because of the defense and because of the running game.
But he still finds ways to win. Zach Wilson doesn't find ways to win.
Yeah,
Kenny Pickett does.
I know.
And he finds ways to score touchdowns.
Yeah, and even the Giants gave him a win too when they blew it at the end. Gano misses a field goal and they get it. It's just I don't know. It's bad. So that's our picks for this week. Any parting shots? Jose, will we beat the Ravens?
Will we beat the Ravens when the Niners play the Ravens?
That's right.
I don't know. Depends. It depends.
We'll see when we get there, right?
We'll see when we get there. I'm more worried about next week against the Eagles. That's what I'm worried about.
By the way, that's my Super Bowl picks. By the way,
Baltimore against San Francisco. That's what you picked. Yeah. Well, we're out, Barbosa. We both picked Cincinnati, I think, to make the Super Bowl. So we're out.
I still have a chance.
You had the Jets, right?
No, I had the Bills. I had the Bills and the Niners.
That's teetering on the Bills are out of the playoffs right now, I think.
Yeah.
I think so.
Still lots of games left. Calm down. Lots of games left.
Yeah. We'll see.
Well, but they have the toughest schedule coming up. The Bills have the toughest schedule.
They
have the Eagles this week, then they play KC. And then I forget who the other team is. Dallas, and they play Dallas also.
All winnable games. It's not like they're all winnable.
I'm not saying they're not winnable. I'm not saying they're winnable, but they're just tough teams.
All right. We will see what happens. I'd like to thank Jose Carlos Gomes for coming back on the show. I'd like to thank Gil for making it from his soiree. I'm glad he was here. And I'd like to thank Tommy Barbosa for joining us as well. who picked Tommy DeVito again to win this week. He learned his lesson. He
Gills,
learned his lesson. He's not going against them this week.
Listen, I just picked Tommy DeVito because I love the name, okay? That's the only reason I picked Tommy DeVito. What a name for a quarterback. That guy sounds like he should be on The Sopranos with that name, Tommy DeVito.
Now, just for the record, I want to confirm this before I go, because Barbosa mentioned his stats in his first game. The correct stats were, when he played against the Jets, he was 2 for 7 for -1 yard.
Oh, was it minus? Ended up being -1 yard.
That was what his stats were in that game.
Not -9. At one point, it was -9.
But last week, Danny DeVito came alive. 16 of 26 for 246 and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I know.
That's how bad the Commanders are, Gil. You'll never take Biden's team again after that. There's no way. There's no way. So.
Unless it becomes Trump's team. Again.
Well, we'll see.
No, Trump's team's Dallas, America.
There you go. America.
Is it Dallas?
America's team.
America.
That's right.
America.
Yes.
America.
All right, guys. I'm the mouth of North Andrew Reese. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week on the Reese Report.